Hi, and welcome to Brewgooders episode 38 of the League of Beer and Comics. Yeah, I'm wearing an SP on today because COVID. Yeah, things are going to look a bit different for the next foreseeable future, but then it will, area of your life do things not look that different. Things will not look different. Let's just obviously all stay together, all continue to be this amazing community that we are. And just stay in touch and stay safe, please everyone. This week I'm reviewing myself, I'm reviewing a couple of beers and a comic. Hopefully Colin will jump in and also do the same. My beers this week are another two of the mixing 10-year rebels I've got. Obviously I'm limited to being able to go out and pick up more beer, so what I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of the beer I've got, and I still have quite a few beers left from that beautiful birthday box that Tiny Rebel did. So yeah, a bit Tiny Rebel daft, possibly in this lockdown sort of format, but we'll see how we're going. So the two I mixed today was a coconut and vanilla creme IPA called Not So Fast Red Boy. The Tiny Rebel, you can see the can art if you're watching this. I forgot, as I got a bit tiddly last night, all the flavours involved in this. But yeah, I think if you watch the review or listen to the review earlier, and I keep referring to chocolate instead of coconut, but it is, a coconut and vanilla creme IPA. Quite a fascinating one. Also, I also drank in my left hand. Hold on. Yeah, I drank this shake and bake, which is a chocolate and banana protein hard shake. Coconut banana. This is a chocolate and protein hard shake, 6%. I'm also going to look at reviewing a comic. The comic I'm reviewing this week is called Ayanmo Stigmata. Apologies if I didn't get that pronounced correctly. From Tyrese Jackson, writing, and Mark Marvida and Marvin Marvida. Also involved. It's available through Sovereign Comics, so yeah, just Google that and check them out. It's part of a wider universe, which I'm hopefully going to be able to speak to Tyrone about at some point. But it's the Brewgooders, so let's do this. Apologies for all the editing, just in the circumstances. I'm having to throw bits and pieces together. I'm really, really glad that Colin's been able to get involved. He is doing a review of the comic Hotell with 2 L's from John Lees, a great writer who we have featured in the show before. And also I've been really lucky to get a hold of Tyrese Jackson, who is the writer of Ayanmo Stigmata, which is the comic I reviewed this week, so he's going to talk to us about this episode as well. So that on top of the 10-year rebel stuff and that I've aforementioned. Hi, Jeff here, welcome to a beer tasting. I don't quite know when this is on, but I assume that I've been a clever bastard elsewhere in the podcast and said we are going to be tasting some beers. So what I'm going to do just now is I'm going to just open this pre-prepared beautiful can, look at that, of a Not So Fast Round Boy, which is a coconut and vanilla creme IPA, 5%, from Tiny Rebel. My favourite brewery. I haven't even had a beer yet, so I can't even believe I'm tripping over my words. There's going to be loads of these dotted around podcasts because Colin's in self-isolation, you're possibly in self-isolation, and you're watching this podcast just to keep yourself sane. I am hoping to be putting loads of stuff out, as is Colin. We've got a WrestleMania beer chat coming up in a couple of weeks, or had last week, or whenever you had it. There's loads of stuff happening. Okay, please get in touch. Please let us know how you're getting on. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're drinking loads of good beer, because that's what I absolutely intend to make a staple of this crisis that we're all having to endure. So yeah, let's have a little look at this. Let me see if I can prop my phone. Mark t-shirt. Because he's awesome. I don't know. Here, this work. This will do for the pour anyway. Look, so there's this is not making very good radio. I'm just trying to set up my mic. So yeah, here we go. Let's see what a vanilla and coconut creme IPA looks like. It's quite a fizzy one. beer supposed to be fizzy. What are we doing for colour? Now, I'm going to keep half of this in the can because this is part of the 8th birthday event that Tiny Rebel did. So actually, this should match with another 5% protein hard shake beer that I've got in my fridge that I'll mix together to make a third beer, which will hopefully fill out beer content for a podcast. Beautiful. Oh, I love that cloudy colour. If you're watching this, you can see a beautiful yellowy orange. Oh, that's just lovely. I said 5%. Wheats, oats, rice, toasted coconut flakes, lactose, vanilla hops, hops and yeast. Oh, this will be great. Round and round and round we go. Let's have a look. And the smell. Oh, it reminds me of Pump Up the Jam. Definitely those vanilla hints, which is probably the donut aspect. I can taste the smell the coconut. Oh, that's a fanana. Sorry, my words are going. Today's been quite an emotional day. I'll tell you why another time, I think. But fantastic smell. One of the most interesting beer smells I've tasted in a while, actually. Oh, that's really fascinating. So they definitely taste the coconut and the vanilla through there. And there's a taste at the back of the tongue that total pings up. I don't know if it's just a standard IPA bitterness there. Front of the tongue is really, really sweet. Like your like coconut shavings, maybe, yeah. Really oaty. It's just the creme element. Tiny Rebel do really awesome dessert beers, and this one sort of falls into that category. I'm interested because when we did this before, one of the things I'm excited to see is when you mix the two, they make a third beer. It's a big gimmick behind the 8th birthday. And what we discovered when we did it last time was that when you mix the two together, your third beer was actually really, really nice. And actually it was like both okay beers, but like a total boom good third beer. So we'll go through that process together. But yeah, nice beer, really sessional. I love IPAs. I've got that kind of candy, desserty vibe going on. Pump Up the Jam is one of my favourites actually. Some smart arse is gonna get on the podcast, chat feeds and say, "Oh, Jeff, I think you'll find that Pump Up the Jam is not an IPA." I don't know if it is or not at this moment in time. Apologies if it's not. But that's kind of what this reminds me of. And just check it out. It's called Not So Fast Round Boy by Tiny Rebel. Check it out. Sweet, a bit bitter, really light, 5% sessional IPA. Okay, so the second beer that I'm reviewing is the Shake and Bake Chocolate and Banana Protein Hard Shake from Tiny Rebel. I have tried this before in a small tasting format when I was at the 8th birthday celebrations in Edinburgh a couple of months ago. I remember enjoying it now. I'm looking forward to seeing how it tastes in the can. I picked this up from the Caledon Craft Beer Merchant. Small businesses are really going to struggle, I think, in many ways during this time. So please shop local if you're going to do that. I'm just going to throw it in there. I'm not going to get political or anything, but you spend a tenner in a local shop, that stays in the community. You spend a tenner in Asda or that, which you know we'll have to do it. But if you spend a tenner in Asda, you'll never see that tenner again. That 10. Whereas a £10 in a smaller local based business will bounce around, and actually that £10 allows that business to be able to spend money to put towards something else, also local. Please do that. That's all I'd say. Shop local. Keep it local. Keep businesses in business actually during this really hard time. So yeah, Shake and Bake Chocolate and Banana Protein Hard Shake. I'm gonna have to try and put this down again. How did I do it last time? Hi, I'm going to put you on my couch. There you can see my total beer belly. I'll just do that and shuffle out so you don't see any skin. Okay, colour wise, a bit darker than the last one, as you can see. Still that beautiful cloudy colour, but a bit darker, not as fizzy. You can see that I have had the can open for a couple of moments now. Oh, it smells very chocolatey. It does actually smell, I remember this from last time, it smells very much like a protein shake, a chocolate protein shake, as you can see from this total machine gun that I've got. A protein, this is something I kind of a lot about. I'm just going to get, it smells very banana-y. Banana and chocolate actually. The more it's kind of hit the air, the bananas come through. It reminds me of like a chocolate banana pie or something. So I think I'm going to give it a 96. Really sweet in the front. This, I really like this beer. Oh, it's got that aftertaste at the front of the tongue is really sweet. There's no bitterness at the back, which will be interesting when you mix the two, because I'm going to blend for the third beer in this episode. I'm going to blend it with the other one. This is much more pleasant than the last one. It'd be interesting if Colin and that were here, see if they agree. But it actually just tastes like a protein shake, to be honest. It's quite dangerous in itself. 5%, so you know it's quite an alcoholic. No, 6%. I tell a lie. It's a 6% protein shake. I don't know how much in the way of proteins in there. Ingredients include barley, banana puree, cocoa nibs, chocolate powder, lactose, rice hops, yeast, and normal stuff. I think this is quite fabulous. This might be my favourite of the two. It's very much my favourite of the two. We'll see how it holds when you blend the chocolate and banana hard shake with a vanilla and chocolate creme that I had earlier. So yeah, I'll see you at the other side. I'm just taking advantage of all the backgrounds in my house. I'm disappearing in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about this. This is the mix of the two. It smells like a trifle. I'm not sure if I'm enjoying the sweetness, but my wife, I let my wife taste the hard shake one, and she said it tasted like spew. But then she's a total charlatan, and will not take any more advice from Claire just now. Yeah, so this is the combination of the protein hard shake. That's banana and chocolate, and the vanilla and chocolate creme beers. So let's just see what smell. It smells like trifle, really punchy with the flavours. Aye, exactly like the last time we did this. Lovely notes, really complex flavours. Takes over your entire tongue, front and back. Best of the three. I will talk a wee bit about this more later on, but I just wanted to, before I'm actually going to take part in a remote pub quiz, so I'm going to just disappear and have my dinner and take part in a quiz with my wife. Have a good night, guys. It's Friday night here. Hope you guys have a good Friday night. If this is when you're listening to it, listen to this on Friday night and then you'll have a good one. Please get in touch. Please check us out on Facebook, social media and all that sort of stuff, because we've got loads of stuff coming up. Cheers.
Hiya folks, so I'm doing my first comic review from isolation. So the only book I'm doing just today is Hotell, that's with 2 L's. This is a comic from the writer John Lees, whose work we've featured in the podcast before. So he's well known as the writer of the Sink series, which is set in the fictional suburb of Glasgow called Sink Hill, and there's a whole bunch of related horror stories. And this is something similar. Hotell is set in a little hotel off the road on Route 66 in America, and this series of 4 comics tells different stories about people who stay at that hotel. So this is issue 1, which is just out this week. I guess the next ones will be out in the next few months. And this story is about a lady called Alice who checks into the hotel, and she's on the run from an abusive relationship. She's pregnant, and she meets the hotel caretaker owner at the start of the story, and he's a kind of creepy kind of storyteller character who you may have seen in kind of similar sort of anthology comics, where you sometimes have a character that introduces the stories. Anyway, like I said, Alice is pregnant. She's on the run from this abusive partner, and while she's staying at the hotel, she has these bizarre dreams where she encounters her unborn baby, and it kind of encourages her to kind of do something about her relationship, and all the time that this is happening, her abusive partner is hunting her down, is looking for her, is on the way to the hotel as well, so there's going to be some kind of confrontation. So don't want to spoil too much about the story, but it is a set of horror stories in the style of one of those kind of portmanteau movies that you used to get in the sort of 70s, maybe early 80s, where they used to throw a bunch of different stories together, often with a similar theme or setting. And that seems to be the kind of thing that John Lees is really good at. Some beautiful artwork in here. I'll show you some without spoiling too much of the comic. So really awesome artwork by the artist here, Dalibor Jalek. And a couple of other characters that we meet in the story are this couple here, Muriel and whose name, Dave, I think. Can't remember what his name is. No, totally got it. Bob and Muriel. Yeah, that's right. And I don't know if these characters are going to appear in a later story, but I think maybe these little pictures on the front might be an indication of what's to come. So this appears to be a woman with a baby, who may well be Alice, who's the star of this story. And there's a couple here, all dressed up for a good night in. And I'm wondering if these might be Bob and Muriel. And then we've got this strange axe man here, and somebody kind of with long hair sitting on a seat looking away from us. So I'm wondering if this has got something to do with the future stories. So obviously it's kind of a hellish set of horror stories. You get the hell kind of written in here in the title of the comic book. Good stuff, I have to say. Really impressed by this. This is out from AWA Comics. I don't know if they're pronouncing that AWA or not, but this is a brand new comic publisher who have released a whole bunch of stuff, or are releasing a whole bunch of stuff fairly soon. So here's some examples of the other books that are coming out. And if this is anything to go by, I'm quite looking forward to seeing some of the other stuff too. Okay, so nice one, and hopefully we'll see you soon. We'll be recording more videos since we've got a wee bit of time on our hands, more than normal. Okay, cheers for now.
Hi, and welcome to Brewgooders episode 38 of the Week of Beer and Comics. Yeah, I'm wearing an SP on today because COVID. Yeah, things are going to look a bit different for the next foreseeable future, but then it will, area of your life, do things not look that different. Things will not look different. Let's just obviously all stay together, all continue to be this amazing community that we are, and just stay in touch and stay safe, please everyone. This week I'm reviewing myself. I'm reviewing a couple of beers and a comic. Hopefully Colin will jump in and also do the same. My beers this week are another two of the mixing 10-year rebels I've got. Obviously I'm limited to being able to go out and pick up more beer, so what I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of the beer I've got, and I still have quite a few beers left from that beautiful birthday box that Tiny Rebel did. So yeah, a bit Tiny Rebel daft possibly in this lockdown sort of format, but we'll see how we're going. So the two I mixed today was a coconut and vanilla creme IPA called Not So Fast Red Boy. The Tiny Rebel, you can see the can art if you're watching this. I forgot, as I got a bit tiddly last night, all the flavours involved in this. But yeah, and I think if you watch the review or listen to the review earlier, and I keep referring to chocolate instead of coconut, but it is a coconut and vanilla creme IPA. Quite a fascinating one. Also, I also drank in my left hand. Hold on. Yeah, I drank this Shake and Bake, which is a chocolate and banana protein hard shake. Coconut, banana. This is a chocolate and protein hard shake, 6%. I'm also going to look at reviewing a comic. The comic I'm reviewing this week is called Ayanmo Stigmata. Apologies if I didn't get that pronounced correctly. From Tyrese Jackson, writing, and Mark Marvida and Marvin Marvida. Also involved. It's available through Sovereign Comics, so yeah, just Google that and check them out. It's part of a wider universe which I'm hopefully going to be able to speak to Tyrone about at some point. But you know, it's the Brewgooders, let's do this. So, apologies if this is all kind of jabbing back and forth, but I'm kind of just doing the reviews of different things at different times, so it'll kind of come across and bounce around a wee bit. This is Ayanmo Stigmata, which is the comic that I was reviewing this week. It's by Tyrese Jackson, Mark Marvida and Marvin Marvida. Tyrone's story, script and letters, Mark is pencils and inks, and Marvin is colours. I was given to this. There's a thing that we do in Brewgooders, whereas if you would like us to have a little look at something you put together, we will review it, we will chat to you if you're up for being on the show, and we get some really good conversations out of it, and we get some really, really awesome little content. So yeah, this is issue 1 of this particular arm in like what I think is supposed to be a massively shared universe. It's all available on sovereigncomics.com, or if you Google Sovereign Comics or Tyrese Jackson, you will be able to find the stuff on Comixology and things like that as well. So yeah, Tyrone sent this to me, and I'm hoping to get him on the show either this week or in a week coming up very, very soon to discuss. I think the idea of shared universes is really awesome. It's something that I'm quite interested to see. Having been a fan of DC and Marvel shared universes, it's interesting that independent creators are creating their own shared universes. So we're going to have a look at that. With regards to this comic, and this. So what's the story here? I'm going to read the official blurb here. So, and apologies in advance if I get words wrong, either alien words or even there's a couple of military terms that I'm unfamiliar with. So yeah, it's 1944, and during World War II, a Tuskegee airman is cast away to the other side of the galaxy by two battling Foo Fighters in inverted commas. Caught in their drift, Lieutenant Brown, LT, I knew that one. Lieutenant Brown finds himself on an unknown world. And unfortunately for him, he's the only guy in there, and quickly he finds himself as a top hunted galactic bounty. Fortunately for him though, he is tagged by a bounty hunting organisation and tasked with leading a team of bounty hunters a team of former bounties turned hunters to hunt down the galaxy's top 100. That's it in a nutshell. I really like this story. It's very, very confidently told. I felt you just go for it. You go along for it. It's part of a shared universe, as I've mentioned before. I think that helps the pace and the direction of this story. It's really confident because it knows what it is and it knows where it is before it's even been written. Something I talk about quite a lot on this show is the amazingness of independent comic creators to just go with their worlds. We have to just go in as well with them, and sometimes that has varying results. Sometimes it can become quite jarring and unreal, whereas other creators have managed to balance that, introducing the reader to new concepts while also providing them with something that they can get involved with quite quickly. And this manages to fall into that category. I'm really excited to check out some more of their other work, which is all available on sovereigncomics.com. Art style, it's fantastic. It's up there with that's a splash page early on in this issue. That it's really, really well drawn. So I believe that was Mark Marvida on pencils and Marvin Marvida on colours. So actually a really amazing team, presumably brothers, or whether they're in the same family, and they've worked really hard on this together to create something really, really confident. So you should absolutely go and check that out. Ayanmo Stigmata is the first entry for me into this wider world, which I believe everybody should give an opportunity to go. I'm hoping to get Tyrone on the show really, really soon. It might be this episode, it might not be, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm quite interested to talk to him about the shared universe concept and how he found that complemented his writing in each individual issue, and what challenges he faced while creating something that was an entry in a wider universe, and just the actual creation of a wider universe. Really, really smart. I'm interested to check out some of the other bounties and then the bounty hunters in this universe. Some really cool characters in this, some really dynamic action, and some interesting powers and abilities by some of the key characters. I'm quite keen to see how the story unfolds and shows you more about these guys. So absolutely check it out. Well done, guys. I just wanted to add as well that the character work on this, as I mentioned just briefly, is really, really good. But also, I really like this idea of the American airman in a world that he doesn't understand. It's something that it's a storytelling trope that I'm using in my own work, and I really like this fish out of water. Being able to see an unknown world or an unknown area from the eyes of giving the audience an eye view into this world through somebody that's unfamiliar and is discovering this stuff on their own. I believe that I quite like the idea that the lieutenant character in this story is going to be so his name Lieutenant Brown is going to be one of the chief characters in this. I like that it's a bit Guardians of the Galaxy-esque. It's this human character who's the focal point, particularly in this issue at least, is the focal point in quite a he has like a grounding element in what's quite and what should look quite insane and quite crazy. Also like the trope. There's a really cool thing about one of the things I really liked in one of the panels was you saw the inside of a bar and they had a triangular pool table. I thought it was quite smart. I wanted to put that in there. Please check this out. Go to www.sovereigncomics.com and just introduce and immerse yourself in this world. And as I say, I hope to get Tyrone on to discuss a wee bit more about this. But we'll see you. I'm going to move on to another beer review for those that like that part of the show. Okay, hi guys. I'm joined by Tyrese Jackson, who is the writer for I can't my pronunciation. That was the one thing I reviewed when I was doing it when I was trying to do my review later on. Like, there's a lot of hard words in your comic.
Yeah, it is. It's called Ayanmo Stigmata.
Yeah.
So pretty much the term Ayanmo, it's a Yoruba term that means fate.
Yeah.
So the title of the comic Ayanmo Stigmata is what the main character eventually names their main ship, because like with the ships and everything, ships have to have a name. It's kind of a Earth culture that he takes out into space with him.
Yeah.
So that's what he ends up naming the ship, because him as well as the other members on the ship, being bounties turned bounty hunters, they all kind of have this cursed fate, because no matter what they do, they're like, they're connected to one another. They're connected to their path and stuff like that. So that's what he ends up naming the ship, the Ayanmo Stigmata. So scarred or cursed fate is pretty much what it translates to.
Ah, cool. So do you want to
Yeah.
that makes loads of sense now. Would you like to so I always ask a guest to do their interview pitch. So if you're at the convention with the book, how do you introduce somebody that doesn't know what's going on to Ayanmo Stigmata?
So the way that ultimately I was Ayanmo Stigmata is a story about a Tuskegee airman who gets cast across the universe by two scuffling Foo Fighters during World War II. And while he's on the other side of the universe, he has to learn and understand how things work out there.
Yeah.
He has to. He finally finds out, that humans aren't the only intelligent life, and then he sees just how dirty and organized and cutthroat the galaxy can actually be.
Oh, totally.
So he's trying to get back home. He wants to get back home, but while out there, he becomes hunted, because he's the only Gaian human, which is what they call Earth. In my universe, they call it Gaia. The aliens do. He's the only Gaian human that's ever made it to that side of the galaxy. So he's kind of a commodity. They want to hunt him down. So he goes from hunted to hunter, just so he can get home.
Oh, nice. Is it? I'm right in thinking. One of the things I really find quite exciting about this, and why I'm really glad I reviewed it, is the Graham Stigmata, the issue that you gave me to review and have a look at is part of there's already other stories set in this universe, isn't there? And
yeah, there is. So Sovereign Comics, which is my my comic book publishing company, it's a shared universe. So Ayanmo Stigmata, it's one of my stories that's I guess I would call it starts off as a period piece. So it's a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Kind of akin to the way Captain America is and the way Wonder Woman is. You know.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's kind of how the ideal of doing a period piece type of comic actually came from those two.
Yeah.
I was watching Captain America, the First Avenger, and then just looking over some stuff with Wonder Woman, with that movie coming out and stuff, and kind of got an idea. I was like, wow, it'd be cool if I had a character that kind of had this, that was in World War II, World War I, or something. Just kind of having that period piece that just something happens to them. And for me, like I've always grown up. When I was growing up, I loved learning about the Tuskegee Airmen and stuff like that. But I also I was a big UFO head and sci-fi head, so like I always had this idea, there's no way we're the only intelligent species and stuff. But like during World War II, they had those myths about Foo Fighters,
strange lights in the sky and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like English pilots saw them, American pilots saw them, German pilots saw them. So there was like this myth, and I'm like, what if I took a Tuskegee Airman and had it where he actually encountered,
So that's pardon my ignorance. Pardon my ignorance, but so Tuskegee Airman is that a what's that? Where does that term come from? Obviously it's mentioned a few times in the book.
Yeah, so the Tuskegee Airmen, they were during World War II, they were pretty much an all black fighter squadron with the Army Air Corps.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of black pilots who wanted to be pilots and wanted to fight for America, but they really weren't allowed into a lot of the white squadrons during that time.
Yeah.
So eventually, a couple of individuals with rank, got together and was like, hey, let's make our own for our own, and that's pretty much how the Tuskegee Airmen were born. So like they didn't get to go on a lot of missions, per the story and per the history, starting off and everything like that. But after a while, they were highly decorated and highly recognized and respected for the missions that they were selected to go on. About them, just how well they protected and stuff like that. Protected the bombers and everything on their shorties and runs and stuff like that. So
that's amazing.
It's part of American history. It's pretty big thing. But so like I was saying, like I just didn't. I had this. To me, whenever I came up with the idea, I was like, this kind of sounds like it's too good to be true. Like coming up with this idea. So I was like, let me see and make sure that this isn't done. Like not even just with the Tuskegee Airmen, but with any pilot during World War II. Make sure something like that wasn't done.
Absolutely. So certainly,
shockingly, it wasn't.
Totally.
Like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and run with this. So.
That's actually cool. It's one of the things I thought when I was reading it. I mentioned it in my review earlier on as well. I found this what I really liked about this book. There's a confidence within the storytelling that it's really strong, and there was nothing in there that I didn't feel was accurate or real, and that was something I thought was really quite incredible. I sort of mentioned it in the review. I was reading that, I was like, oh, this could slot into any sort of publishing, any one of the major league publishers, like a DC or a Marvel or an Image. It fits, right down to the art and just the feel and the sort of storytelling strength of the book just made it. It's really good, and it's interesting that you've picked up on that. It's quite a clever story. I know this is just one part of a bigger, wider story, but it's really clever, and it feels like it should have been done well before now.
Thank you. Yeah, it was I would say with this story, like, because the idea came to me so fast, of course with the inspirations and everything from the two that I mentioned with watching the Captain America movie and just looking over things for the Wonder Woman movie as I was anticipating that coming out. Like the idea just came so fast, and I'm like, I was like, wow, no one's done this. Like this hasn't been done.
Yeah.
And from there, it was just like, I guess because the idea was so vivid and it was so interesting, and it took two things that I actually liked learning about growing up.
Yeah.
And I just wrote the story fast. That was probably, I would say that issue 1 was probably one of the fastest comics that I put out. Because I just took it to my art team and I was like, hey, what can we do with this? And
Yeah,
he
that's
started
amazing.
reading the script and he was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, okay, I'll start drawing it now. So we just jumped on it and started going and everything. And the second issue is in works now, and it kind of dives, because we just did the Kickstarter and everything. So we have a couple more pages to go, and then we'll be done.
Oh, amazing.
But it just dives more into the lore of Tuskegee and his crew. Like he finally gets to meet his crew. He finally kind of, because he's still kind of kept in the dark with a lot of things. There's a lot of, like I said, I want to keep that whole shystiness of the organization that he ends up having to work for and all this other stuff. So there's some things that are kept in the dark, but along the way, even though he's like, hey, you're going to lead this team that, this team of bounties turned bounty hunters to go after the top 100 bounties in the galaxy. He's even though that's his task, he's learning along the way. So it's like, I wanted to, even though he's kind of, in the sense, not angry, but he's disappointed. Like you said, like you read issue 1, so you can understand where some of the disappointment comes from. And then he's, in a sense, kind of his trust level is low. He's a little angry, but with his first bounty that he goes after in issue 2, I wanted it to be something that's going to challenge him mentally as he finds out more stuff about his character. So as that issue is building, like the first 11 pages really talks about the first bounty, because I wanted it to be one of those type of stories where like I'm the type of person, like I don't mind like people being split down the middle, especially when it comes to characters and things.
Of course.
Like, I want some people to be like, well, that person deserved to die, and other people like, no, they actually had a good story. Like I like that, because to me it builds conversation. So with this first bounty they go after, she's definitely gonna bring that. I think she's actually gonna pull a lot of readers to her side, and be for her cause, even though she's the antagonist of this part.
That's really interesting. That's cool. That's an interesting way of telling the story as well. That's something we're going to look forward to. So, when does that come out then? Have you got
that will honestly, I think we'll probably be done with that middle of April. We'll be done.
Amazing, cool.
Pretty sure we'll be done middle of April.
And where would potential readers go to access? You just have a website, yeah?
Yep. I do have the website. So SimonComics.com is my website, and up there, if you click the store, to take you to my Square store. So that's one way to buy it. I do have a lot of my comics on Comixology, so that's another way to buy it. I also do have where you can buy digitals from my store also. So
that's amazing, awesome, great stuff. Okay, I've got to wrap this up, I'm afraid, but I've got one question for you, and that's obviously we're a beer and comics podcast, which we find that the two go together really, really well. There's nothing like, for me anyway, there's nothing that complements a great comic like having a nice beer by my side. So what's your beer of choice, if you have one?
My comic of choice or my beer of choice?
Your beer of choice. Did I say comic? I meant beer.
My beer of choice. Oh man, I like stouts.
Oh, nice.
I do like stouts.
Yeah.
And IPAs. I would say those probably my two tops. Because I actually had a good stout last night. There was this vanilla bean stout.
Oh, cool.
It's an aged beer, and it was aged in a bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
So it
was amazing.
so it was delicious. Like it had a nice bourbon coffee undertones to it, but you can also taste the vanilla too. Like for me, it wasn't too sweet. It was bitter, but I like bitter beers. Sometimes I don't get with the really sweet beers. But also also like sours too.
Oh yeah.
Also like sours. Sours are good too. So
Oh,
I would say
nice.
those are my three. I would say stouts, IPAs, and sours.
Oh, nice man. That's cool. Right, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. I might jump a phone call in April and grab you with regards to the issue 2. Does that sound alright?
Yeah, that works.
Magic.
I'm all for it.
Cool. Awesome. I'll speak to you soon then. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem at all.
Bye. Okay, thank you so much. I'm just gonna hang up now. But yeah, that was really cool. And yeah, good luck on issue 2. We'll be there soon. Sonny, I need to be able to take phone calls. Alright? I don't mind helping you. I'll come down and help you just now. But